could come up with was my neck. Although I will always credit my daughter's words that July day as the ones I needed to hear, words that literally saved my life, I also think about my son who stayed with me after Paul left. Brett watched over me to get me through those first couple days when I was filled with complete self-hatred. This kid stayed with me while the others spent the day at the beach. I was grateful they went to be with other family. The shame was almost unbearable. Brett took me to lunch at a restaurant where I could barely keep from laying my aching head on the table. Just seeing and smelling his chili cheese fries came close to making me hurl. I was conscious enough, however, to realize that I had to do something as soon as possible that would make my family understand that I was serious about addressing my drinking. That same day, a Facebook advertisement popped up on my feed for Jen Couch's Sober Sis 21-Day Reset program. I immediately signed up. The timing of this program appearing before me was no accident. It was a genuine gift from God. That evening, while the others were still at the beach, I asked Brett to take me to an AA meeting. As I was walking into the meeting, I looked back at him in his car. He was crying. I know he was scared. I'll never forget how a man from AA witnessed this, walked over to my son, praised him for bringing me, and asked if there was anything he could do for him. He sat with Brett and they talked for a few minutes. He even came out of the meeting and checked on Brett again. The people in the meeting gave me a big book that belonged to a longtime member who had passed away. The book was full of highlighted words and handwritten notes in the margins. These people had never met me before and will probably never see me again, yet they were exactly what I needed that night. There are so many kind and compassionate people in the world. You will find many of them in the rooms of AA. Several years before this night, I started going to AA meetings in the small town near our cabin after one of the many times Paul left me because of my drinking. I'll never forget those people. They took me in when I was at one of the lowest points in my life. Little did I know there would be an even lower point to come. I continued to attend meetings, and I managed to stay sober for several months, but it didn't last. A couple of months before I stopped for good, I ran into one of the women from the group at the grocery store, and I had a bottle of wine in my cart. I heard myself telling her the wine wasn't for me. 2 years later, that's 731 days for those of you who are counting, because I know I do, Brett still calls me almost every day. He does so not to check on me, but to check in with me. We have meaningful conversations about life, and I remember all of them. Even though Brett never really thought I had a serious drinking problem, he is clearly no longer worried about me. I am present. I am his mother. All is as it should be. Such is the strength of denial when it comes to drinking, that a child talking to their parent may not even hit home. Talitha Cummins. Thank God I listened. My daughter now has a predictable mother upon whom she and her children can depend every single day. A daughter who usually shows her affection by texting the thumbs up emoji and acknowledges my sober milestones with hearts and the treasured words, "I am proud of you." I can feel the connection with her, even though she has a harder time talking about it. She calls me now for no apparent reason, something she hadn't done in a while. Before I stopped drinking, I spent hours on the internet searching to see if I really had a drinking problem, more times than not, with a glass of Sauvignon Blanc in my hands. And of course, the internet makes it possible to find a source to support any opinion under the sun, no matter how outrageously unscientific it might be. Just the fact that I was looking on the internet to see how bad my drinking was should have been my first clue, right? Nope, because I could always find a reason for concluding that things weren't that bad, whatever that means. I ignored that small voice inside that was telling me the truth the whole time. I refused to listen because I just wasn't ready. Until I was. Now I listen to that voice every day, and I can feel in my head, heart, and body that alcohol has lost its grip on me. How did it happen? Well, I did something that was